Hey everyone, it's Ben from Blue Marlin Marketing back again. So today I'm going to be bringing you part two of our YouTube Chat AI Chrome extension. Um, Excuse me. So if you haven't seen the first part, I'll have that linked on this video. So I'd go back and watch that first if you haven't already. Um, in this section, we're going to be covering how to actually set up your, like, now that we've got the Chrome extension actually as a um, actually functioning so that it can take in information and return information and actually function. We're going to now make it so that it can actually accept like API like an API key that you'll actually be creating using the automation. And also by creating this key, it's going to allow you to ensure that people can't access it. Like even if they've installed your extension already, they won't be able to access it without the necessary like payment on their key or to like keep their key active, that kind of thing. Um, so the first part of this is you're just gonna. I know that we made the Stripe link and I showed it in the previous video, but if you haven't already, you're just gonna want to make sure that you have a payment link created um, for whatever you want to do, and then just go ahead and copy that. Um, and then once you've had that, if you currently have your extension set up so that you were just like in testing where there is no, you weren't trying to charge or anything for that, um, all you're gonna need to do is go ahead and say, like, could you, and then you're just going to go into ChatGPT for all the coding that we're gonna be doing. It's just, um, yeah, why waste our time writing code when we can just like run tests and have it implement features just like through this method basically. So if we've already copied like our payment link, you could go ahead and put your payment link in here like this. And then you would be like, for your API key, let me go ahead and pull that up. So add, okay. But yeah, so you'll put in that link and then you can just basically specify, hey, if the like they're not accepting the API key, or if they've entered their API key and it's not accepted, that's actually the link that you'll send also for like when you manually build it in your YouTube in like the back end for this. So when you, like we discussed before on our previous video, so like this is just like text that I had filled in, and then here's the link to buy now, so that will like send it to them if they've already created an account and like they have their API key, but eventually when it's now invalid since we're actually testing for if they're a paying customer through this filter, and if not, they're invalid. But yeah, so it'll send that link over to them as well. But yeah, so on the actual extension though, when they click your login or however you have it set up, or like your chat button first, it's really important that you have it set up so that your like webhook can actually take an API key, which I showed you guys in the first video as well. But yeah, as long as it's taking that API key and then running through your Airtable, which I'm going to show you guys in just a second here, how you use the Airtable to basically test if they're a good contact or if they are currently paying or not currently paying or anything like that. But let me first show, now that you have your Stripe link created, all you want to do is go create a watch events and then just create a connection to your Stripe account. You should just use like the OAuth type of connection when you hit add. I believe it'll do the webhook name. Oh, this, yeah. So then you just go ahead and like you're gonna create a webhook that's connected to the specific payment that you want to do. And then the second part is just gonna retrieve customer info, and we just did object and then ID the customer, and then we just want to get like any general information from them, so we haven't gone ahead and selected anything, and we just leave this running so that every time that Stripe link is activated, it's going to basically look for the customer information, which will show you if we go over to our Airtable, which is our third automation. So let me go back to our actual Airtable. So the first thing you need to have is just create like a blank table. You can name it like whatever you want. A column for name, email. And then this unique ID, I actually went and put in this formula. So it's just record and then underscore ID with open parentheses. And that will just make it so that when a new one of these is created, it automatically will fill in that. And then in your membership status, you're going to want to have like either paying subscriber, declined, and then like I have churned, but you could have it as like canceled, something like those, or not paying anymore, or anything like that. The last two that we have are create time. Create time, pretty easy. You just will literally search in this part to find create time, and same with last modified. Control Z. Same with last modified. But yeah, and then the membership status, it's pretty simple. Is depending on where they are, this will be applied to them. So if they're paying, obviously it'll be working. And so. So, but the cool thing is on like in your actual backend, so it will only have prompted them to enter their API key in that originally like one time, and once they've entered it, they'll be good. But down the line, since we have this Airtable checking for that record, if like checking for the unique ID, if that unique ID is no longer valid or like it's declined or churned or whatever, it will actually go ahead and send it to this back to the webhook with that. So instead of wasting your make credits or giving people answers for free, basically, you will be essentially just resending them the link to pay again. And that's all completely automated. You don't actually have to do anything other than get this turned on and going. The second part of this whole thing is we're going to watch new records in the Airtable. So whatever your table is, you'll just pick that. Then table 1. And then the trigger fields are the last modified. And then the limit I've just set is 10, but you could put a bigger number or a smaller number. So all that's doing is it's looking for the email address of the most recent created. So that's where this is going to go to. It's going to say your API key. And then great news, here's your code. And then it will just look at the unique ID column and actually paste the code right there. And then we just gave it like a little couple steps just so they can figure out how to actually do it. And they'll receive that in an email whenever they've paid for it. So the cool thing is whether they've gotten your Stripe link from somewhere else or like when they filled that out, like that will still update your Airtable. And once you've update your Airtable, and then this email will be sent to them basically. So they will get an email with their API key, and then once they follow the instructions, enter the API key on the sign-in page, and then once they've entered their API key, they're in your system basically. And so this is the system which I kind of walked through how to build with you guys in the last video. Also, just remember all the downloads and stuff will be available in our community, as well as any code for developing this extension and code for like scraping sites and that kind of stuff that I have in here. But yeah, so it kind of it really makes it simple to keep this thing going because you don't need to worry about it basically working for a non-paying customer, working for someone who canceled their subscription. It will know that their unique ID is not present, and actually it will actually make sure that it's not running all of the, your operation for them and giving them an answer. It's just going to return that same thing every time. And then the cool thing also with that is in your Airtable is obviously you'll see these update, but whenever like the new one is created, you actually just be able to go in here and view this, and you actually have all the relevant information like about them, like email, whatever. You could even make this collect different email information if you wanted. Like if you wanted their phone number or something like that, you could have your Airtable holding that type of data too. But yeah, it's just kind of like an insurance kind of thing, so you know that your automation is not just going to be running for everybody. But yeah, So we've got that. And then the email and the Airtable. And then just make sure that you have it like on demand so that it's running as necessary, I believe. And then these hooks are all immediately for the Stripe and the main one. Yeah, so all three of these automations are available to download in our thing. All the text and stuff will be filled in if you do that as well. But yeah, one thing to also note is make sure that like if you're having errors, and this is actually what I'm going to go over in the third video. I'm just going to go over some like error handling and testing and stuff of changes that you can actually make in ChatGPT and how to prompt the basically how to prompt ChatGPT to improve your extension, how to fix like visual stuff, how to fix errors you're getting, those type of deal. I'll go over like a little bit of that kind of thing, and then just a general overview, and then just a few little last notes about everything. But yeah, feel free to leave any comments or questions on this video. I'll answer them in the next video if there's any that I think are really like would be great questions to do. But yeah, once again, I guess just thank you everybody. Have a great rest of your day, and don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps us out. Thank you so much, and have a great rest of your day.